Hello and welcome to Trope on a Rope, the podcast where we delve into the kit bag of Hollywood to see what it's packing, before throwing the hand grenade of chat into the dark tunnel of film criticism. This time, we continue our look at Vietnam War films, which, when we picked this topic, we thought, oh great, we get to watch 3 guaranteed great movies, forgetting that it would also mean that we would have to talk extensively for 45 plus minutes each about these genuinely harrowing films.
Yay!
My name's Jeff, and my co-host, just back from cleaning the latrine block, is Mr. Colin Gerard. How's it going, you smelly bastard?
Everything's really, really good, and I'm not sick much.
Now, traditionally, I write a short, funny roundup of the film, and
there's not much funny about this
really
one.
do that with this one, can you?
Yeah.
You half expect me to just go, but I'm just going to power through it anyway. It's comedy gold, this one.
So, war's fun.
Casualties of War follows the horrifying true story of a US squad as they try to make their way through the Vietnam War. With the moral reasoning of frat house douchebags in a Lord of the Flies-like scenario, they take it upon themselves to kidnap a local girl, rape and then kill her when she becomes inconvenient. The only one in the squad who calls shenanigans on all of this is Michael J. Fox, but being a lowly private, he's only one rank higher than the girl himself, so there's not much that he can do but complain about it to those above. Do they take his complaint seriously? Depressingly, no. Right. What are your initial thoughts on this film?
Well, I mean, I've seen it before a couple of times, like a good 15, 20 years ago. In fact, I totally forgot about this movie until we were choosing them, and it obviously popped into my head as a suggestion. And I immediately remembered, oh, no, this is going to be traumatizing. I remember absolutely struggling to watch this movie the first time through. It's horrible. Amazing movie, but horrible to watch. Very, very uncomfortable. But yeah, so it's still a good. I remember it being a good movie though.
This has been it is. I think it's my favorite Vietnam War film, and it has been for a long time.
Yeah, same here.
It's not perfect by any means, and there are certain bits that I could do without, which we'll get onto later. Yeah, no, I've loved this film for ages. The cast in this is fucking stacked.
God, yeah. I remember. I sent you a message when I first downloaded it.
Yes.
Who was that? Was
Ving Rhames. You sent me a message about Ving Rhames. Surprise, Ving Rhames. And to be honest, I'd forgotten completely that Ving Rhames was in this. So I hadn't rewatched it when you sent that message, and I honestly thought that you were watching the wrong film.
I'd completely forgotten he was in it at all, but like I said that in that email, like he's got such a recognizable voice. Like,
yeah,
it's always got a lot of power behind it. Right, as soon as you don't even see him on screen when you first hear his voice. And I heard his voice, I was like, I know that guy. This guy from Pulp Fiction.
Right, Ving Rhames, bitch. Yeah, his voice, his cadence, his rhythm are so fucking unique. Because he's in the Mission Impossible films, right?
Yeah,
plays Luther, like the man in the van. He's fucking wasted in those films because he only gets he gets lines. His voice demands monologue.
Yeah, he does.
You need to give him 3 minutes of screen time telling a story, and then I'll be happy with that.
I'm curious if you met him like in a bar or something. You're like, hey, do you want? Nice to meet you. What's your name? Does he have a normal voice like us? Or is this just his acting voice, or is he just like as soon as he starts like all the gravitas? Like, would you like a beer? I found that beers can be very. Oh my god, this guy's amazing.
Oh. Just say a sentence with the words righteousness and motherfucker somewhere, just anywhere.
You realize you've been in the bar for 9 hours and he's only said one sentence.
If he doesn't do like audiobooks, I'll be fucking surprised because he should. Ving Rhames, if you're one of the 8 people who are listening to this, do audiobooks. If you read the Lord of the Rings, I'd fucking listen to the whole fucking thing. That'd be amazing. But you'd have to pepper it with like words like motherfucker, random swears.
And some
Ladybird books.
And some side commentary. Your thoughts about how the stories go so far.
Do Ladybird books and shit like that.
Motherfucker.
Um, so yeah, Ving Rhames is in this. He's a lieutenant.
Sean Penn, fucking fantastic.
Sean Penn, I'm never sure. Every time I see Sean Penn, look, he's great and stuff, but he always seems to play complete bastards.
And psycho guys.
I don't like Sean Penn, and I don't know if it's because he always plays those kind of characters, and I've projected that on him, or he's a bit of an asshole in real life. I think it's a bit of both, if I'm honest.
Well, I mean, I saw him in an interview. Saw him in an interview with like on one of those late night shows, and he just does seem to have that kind of personality. He's very not quite obviously not a rapist. That's not what I'm saying.
Bit
Well,
of a cunt.
yeah, but he also seems to feel like he's being attacked all the time. He's always like a very defensive and very aggressive in what he says.
Yeah.
It's odd.
But yeah, no, Sean Penn, he always just winds me up the wrong way. He is great at what he does, but possibly too much because it makes me hate him.
Who wasn't it? There's Riley, was his name?
John C. Riley's in
John C.
this.
Riley. When he was young, he looks exactly the same. He looks exactly the same as he does now.
Motherfucker, right? I was thinking that as well.
His
Like
voice,
maybe like
even his voice is exactly the same. It's like his voice never broke. He came out as a baby going, wow, wow.
like maybe he's a little bit more portly now, but
Yeah.
yeah, right?
But he looks exactly the same. Even the hair's the same. His voice, he has that kind of quavery voice where he kind of keeps.
So this is his first film.
Yeah.
It's also Johnny Legs' first film.
No fucking way.
Yeah, so it's those two guys, it's their first film.
Did not know that. I thought they. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'll take your word for it. I don't know who the other team member is. Clark's. I don't recognize him.
I did write his name down. It's Don Patrick Harvey. That's a good point because I don't recognize him from anything else. Patrick Harvey. There we go. Don Patrick Harvey. Let's see what else he's been in. Because he's in this. I know him from this, and then I don't know him from much else. Because he's great in this.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant. That's why I'm surprised he's not been in other things. Although in this, he plays almost probably I don't know more of a psycho than Sean Penn, or equally as much of a psycho as Sean Penn. They're both the two biggest antagonists in this movie, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of. I'm looking at his. I'm not IMDb. I'm just looking at the drop down menu on Google. There's a lot of unrecognizable films, but there's also a lot of war movies. Thin Red Line is on there.
Right.
Die Hard 2. What's he in Die Hard 2?
Two. Was it the airplane?
Motherfucker, Die Hard 2. Let's see what he was in that. Die Hard 2. There you go.
Probably one of the terrorists, eh?
Yeah, he's one of the terrorists. He is. You know when they're in the command center in the church?
Yeah.
The terrorists. They're in that church that's just off the airport property. He's the main tech guy setting that up. So I was thinking about this, like Vietnam War films in general, that when you have like films based in World War One and Two, they normally revolve around like a specific mission, or like there's like an historic act of heroism within the larger wars, and then like
the beaches of Normandy, or
yeah, or like Saving Private Ryan, it's about getting that one bloke, or
Bridge over the River Kwai.
Bridge over the River Kwai, or Dunkirk is just about the Dunkirky bit.
The one where they stole the Enigma machine. Yeah. There's loads of them.
And those like general themes of like the futility of war and stuff like that, they're just like sprinkled in the background, but it's mainly about the act of heroism within like the larger horror of war and stuff like that.
And how following orders and the chain of command is really important, and teamwork, blah blah blah.
But Vietnam War movies, they're not normally about like specific real things. They're just this is shit, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's that many famous, like historical, heroical feats that happened. It was just a shit show the entire time, wasn't it?
They're generally a shit show. I mean, this one is based on something that happened, but generally they're always just, well, this is awful.
Yeah, I forgot that as well. I totally forgot when it started. The movie started. It has a disclaimer at the beginning. It's like this story is based on real events, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is it based on real events as in the Vietnam War happened, or is it based on real events like this actually happened? That
Right, okay. Yes, no, this actually happened. I did write about the case at the end. It's called the incident army talk. The incident on Hill 192 is the real life thing that happened with but I'll talk about that at the end because I wrote some notes about what happened to the guys in real life. The thing at the beginning, like I've seen this film like 10 times. I'm was paying attention this time because we're doing this.
yeah,
And it was the first time it registered that, oh yeah, fuck, this really happened then.
yeah, yeah. Same
Because
here.
those title cards that say, oh, this is based on a true story, by the time you get to the end of the film, you kind of forget that that title
Yeah,
card was there at the beginning. So yeah, I had completely forgotten about that.
but which also, but I mean, this movie has a like a imaginative idea. Something was invented. This thing was harrowing enough, but to find out that it actually fucking happened.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Right, so the film starts. Michael J. Fox on a tram, and he sees a Vietnamese woman. This is when I said earlier that there's parts of this film that I can do without. It's the stuff on the tram, the little bookends of like of this thing being set on a tram, and he's just like remembering it whilst he falls asleep on his way to like a dentist appointment or something.
I get why they do it because the entire thing, like because of this experience, he goes through post traumatic stress, right?
Yeah,
And at the very end, they have to put in a happy note at the end for all of the Vietnam vets.
yeah,
At the very end, you go, "You had a bad dream. It's over now, I think." And then he's all like, his
yeah.
PSTD's gone. So it's just like, little. This film was too depressing. We need a happy note. It'll be okay, guys. You get over it.
Like she goes off down the hill, and he turns to the camera, and he just has this moment of peace at last, and
Right.
then the film ends, and you're just like, what's fucking what?
What are those guys who are coming to kill you? I thought there was going to be something about that. But
So yeah, the girl on the train, who I had to double check, it is her. The girl from the rest of the film is the girl on the train as well. I always wondered, so I did double check. It is her, but they dub her over with someone else when she's talking. It goes back in time to middle of the war. They're trudging through the jungle. Surprise Ving Rhames. And they have a bit of a fight. I think it's the only scene in the film really where they fight. Oh, there's the bit by the river at the end. But other stuff's happening during that. But it's like it's stock Vietnam War stuff in the middle of the bush, whilst the jungle starts exploding around them without really seeing anyone else.
and really, the only reason for this scene, other than to introduce Michael J. Fox's character and Sean Penn, is to show that Sean Penn's a really good officer who goes back for his man and saves him from the hole. Like technically at this point he's a hero. He's like
Yeah,
so you assume that this guy's like the super awesome commander.
I've written their character names, but I'm just going to refer to everyone by the actors' names because it's probably easier.
Yeah, I think so.
So Michael J. Fox, he falls into a VC tunnel. There's a guy inside the tunnel with a knife, moving very slowly.
He doesn't notice that he's there at first, right?
Yeah,
And then as soon as he starts shouting for help, he goes, "Oh shit, I can kill that guy."
like people are running down the tunnel the other way, and this dude, he just slowly, like on his arms and stuff. Like you've shown people standing up in the tunnel running.
Yeah,
Why is this dude just like edging really fucking slowly with a knife in his face?
he's actually he's really, really tall.
Get up, you cunt!
He's really tall.
Stab Michael J. Fox.
He's really tall.
Yeah, he needs to hurry up and get.
That's actually why there was a hole in the tunnel roof in the first place, because that's the last time he tried to stand up.
They blow a dude out of the tree. He gets saved. One good line I thought from Sean Penn was at the end. He just goes, "That was some mad fucking minute, huh, Cherry?"
Cherry, I didn't really. I thought Cherry was going to be his tagline, is what they all call him, but it just turns out to be anybody who's new.
So what? Do they get just sent there for 60 days? Is that the thing?
That's I think so. Yeah. Like, but I
Because they
think
keep saying, oh, 30 days in and then 30 days out.
I think they get sent to the actual front line for 60 days.
Mm.
And then if they manage to survive it, then they go back and do other stuff in the army and other places. And then they probably get sent back again at some point until the war's over.
No, I think once you've done, I think you get rotated out once you've done, because I think these are the, like, if you're a professional soldier, maybe that thing.
Oh, they're all enlisted.
Drafted.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe that once you've done your stretch, you get fucked off. Because I know now that, like, in like places like Afghanistan, like people get redeployed multiple times to do multiple stints,
Yeah.
but they're professional soldiers who signed up for it in the first place. So I think maybe the rules are different. Maybe I could have researched this before. Maybe I can fuck off.
If anyone knows the answer to this question, please write in the comments.
Um, Anyway, they go to a village. Things like settle down, and they go to a village, and they're talking with Brownie, and Brownie, who was played by, I did write it down, Eric King.
He was quite good. He wasn't in it for very long. I quite like the idea of Brownie as well. He seems to be the glue that keeps Sean Penn and Clark from going psycho. Like Clark is the only person I'm not going to call by the actor's name because I can't remember it. He says in the showers after Brownie's dead, right? He made me
Yeah,
laugh. I really like to fucking laugh.
latch on to what you just said about everyone's names. We'll refer to everyone by the actor's name, except for that one that we can't remember, whose character's name is Clark.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I've written that note as well. It's Brownie's death coupled with their inability to get laid that seems to be the catalyst for everything. Like, Michael J.
And
Fox later points that out, that Brownie wouldn't have stood.
stood for this shit.
And yeah, I think he's right. It wouldn't have happened if Brownie hadn't died.
And I think so. Those two things. So there's the Brownie dying, then they can't get laid, and even more than that, they can't get laid because the Viet Cong aren't getting laid.
Yes, there's that as well. Um, but they go to this village, and it's all like nice and like postcard picture village, like to the point where you kind of forget that there's a war going on,
Yeah,
and Michael J. Fox is fucking around with bulls and plows and shit.
seems genuinely interested in like learning the language and the culture and shit.
But when Brownie gets shot, there's the bit in the firefight where the Viet Cong, they throw a grenade and Michael J. Fox shoots it out of the sky, and then he turns in the middle of a firefight. I hit it! I hit it! Did you see that? That was a fucking good shot. And then whilst Brownie's dying in front of him, it's like,
He's like,
dude,
oh. Although to be fair, I felt really sorry for Michael J. Fox at that point. That was a hell of a
no one
shot.
saw it.
He
No one saw it.
he hit a fucking grenade out of the air. That was genius. And he's like, ah, he's taking the limelight from me by dying. What a selfish bastard.
The only people who saw it were the Viet Cong, assumably. So when they did that split focus thing, where it's just like Michael J. Fox in the foreground, and in the background you see the Viet Cong like hide in the bush, one of them should have looked back and gone, "That was a good shot," and then
Fair play. Fair play. We'll stop killing you now.
credit where credit's due. God,
Let's leave him alone. These guys are fucking
he's
awesome.
not looking. Shall I call his name? Oi,
Bye. Bye.
shut the fuck up, get in the hole. Marty. uh, Question though, right?
Yeah.
If Michael J. Fox had paid attention and seen them go into the hole, and then they had destroyed the hole and killed everyone inside them, do you think that would have sated the bloodlust of, ignoring the later blue balls that they have because they can't go into town? Do you think that would have sated Sean Penn and Clark's bloodlust?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe other events in the film hadn't happened. So is this Michael J. Fox's fault?
I think it probably would have. Oh, that's harsh. If only he could turn back time and change what he did. He could have. It would have saved him a little bit, I reckon. But I think even before that happened, even Brownie was a little bit like a don't talk to these guys. You can't fucking trust them. They'd already been a bit jaded by that point.
Oh yeah, everyone's like super racist as fuck.
Yeah,
No one really gives a shit. I think it's the same for all of these films that no one really gives a shit about any of the Vietnamese in this.
yeah.
Because I don't think no one really knows why they're there in the first place because they've just been sent there just on a whim.
Seems to be only Michael J. Fox seems to be actually interested in them as people. Like he seems to be anyone actually sees them as people.
So we go to Base Camp Wolf, you know, the army base, and there's a scene in tent where the tents where they all come in, they talk about beers, and then Sean Penn's just shaving in the foreground, and they don't know that he's there to start with, and they start having a chat. Michael J. Fox, he says something, and then Sean Penn reacts to it, and I've never been able to quite hear what he says.
He kind of pauses, right? Pauses
Yeah,
shaving and then carries on.
yeah. Do you know what he says, Michael J. Fox?
I do, but I can't remember what it was.
Like, I had to put on the subtitles. All Michael J. Fox says is that he nearly died. It was crazy. That's all he
Oh,
says at that point. And I suppose that he just pauses because he doesn't say anything about the fact that Sean Penn saved him.
okay. And he's like,
Is my theory.
okay.
Um, and then like, do they have the afternoon on off? And then he just matter of fact says, "Yeah,
But yeah,
bro."
like it kind of it does show him he's obviously internalizing a lot of anger. He's just like a very matter of fact. Like, we're off. Then he says the mission. Like, and oh, how did you hear anything about Bobby? Brownie, he's dead. That's it. Right. I think he's internalizing a shitload of anger. You can see it in his eyes. It's Sean Penn.
Um, yeah, he also has an amazing amount of patience for John C. Riley, who just keeps asking like the same like. So we got the evening off, yeah? Yes. What we doing later? I'll tell you when I know. All right, but we got the evening off. Yes.
What are you gonna do? Gonna get laid?
um, yes. So that's the idea. They're going to go into. They're going to go into the village and go to a whorehouse, get laid. But their passes are cancelled and they're stopped from going into town because Charlie's in town getting Charlie's. This is the quote he says: "Charlie's got to get laid too. He works so hard killing us."
But also, we don't actually know. We don't actually know that they're there. That this is just Sean Penn guessing, right?
The MP doesn't correct him.
I know, but he doesn't say you're right either. So we don't know for certain that it's because Viet Cong are there. Because if the Viet Cong were there, why wouldn't they just bomb the village?
Yeah. Anyway, they go back to their tent with blue balls. And John C. Riley it's just carries on with just going, "Hey, fair man." I keep having to remind myself that these guys are quite young. They're all about 20.
He is a whiny little bitch, though, isn't he?
Technically, all of them are. Just because you couldn't get laid is reason why this most of this film happens.
Yeah,
Because you fuckers have blue balls. Just fucking jerk off. Go into a bush and jerk off, you cunts.
yeah.
Means they're going, "Oh, can I borrow a Playboy?" Fucking really?
Use your
Really?
imagination, mate. Do you not know what women look like?
Has anyone got a Playboy I can borrow? Do they really need to get this late? Because like I know they do a lot worse later, but already they're annoying me with just jerk off, you cunts. Bit where John C. Riley goes, "It ain't fair, man," and then just goes, "Am I talking?"
No, because they're all high on weed, right? I can't tell if I'm
No, they're
talking.
just drunk. They're just drunk.
Oh, okay.
They're just drunk, and they've only got like 2 beers each.
And then that's
Um,
where we get introduced to Johnny Legs because
Johnny Legs turns up.
he's replacing Brownie, right?
He's replacing Brownie. Briefs them on the mission, on their main mission, which is just I think recon. I think their main mission is, and then he says about the little side quest, which he where he just goes, "They'll requisition ourselves a girl," and describes her as a little portable R&R.
Rest in
Fucking
real.
hell.
Yeah, yeah. Lovely guy.
Like they're all drunk, so it probably blows over them. But you can
Well,
see,
there's the kind of like I think most of that point think it's a joke, right?
you can see Michael J. Fox like the gears are turning in his head because he doesn't say anything for the rest of that scene where it's just like, "The fuck did you just say?" like he's processing what just happened.
But then everyone else is acting not everyone else is acting normally. So he's like, maybe I just reading too much into this.
But Erickson immediately goes tells his mate. He sobers up fucking quick.
Mm.
But they come to the conclusion, him and his mate. Like, oh, he said it. Oh no, was he joking? Well, he did say this. And his mate just goes, they come to the conclusion that Sean Penn must have been joking, right?
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, to bring a dame on patrol, that'll never happen, GI." That's what he says. Cuts immediately to it happens. I've tried to. It gets dark from here, so I don't think I make many notes about stuff that happens,
Mm.
but I would like to highlight some of the worst shit that they do on the road, which is mostly stuff that they say.
Yeah.
Especially Clark. Clark's fucked in
Which
this.
which could have been put down to just like a really black sense of humor until the fact that they actually do these things, and you go, oh, that is the kind of people they actually are. Shit, fucking hell.
There's a bit where they do actually like they go through that village hut by hut until they get to the one at the end, and then
Find the
Clark
pretty
just
one.
goes, "Yes, that's the line that I wrote. This one, Sarge, she's the pretty one," and Sean Penn just like he just shrugs and just goes, "Well, take the pretty one then." Fucking hell!
Yeah.
Everyone's reaction to what's going on, outside of Penn and Clark. Again, sorry to the actor who plays Clark. Um, Everyone's reaction to the unfolding events for the rest of the film, like Johnny Legs, Michael J. Fox, and John C. Riley, is I don't know, man.
No, John C. Reilly, from the as soon as they've actually taken it, he starts trying to in his mind justify it and like make it like a movie in his like this is what
Well, he does a bit later, but when they're actually kidnapping him, like Fox goes, I thought he was joking, and John C. Riley just goes, I don't know, man, I don't know.
yeah, I just do what I'm told, man.
I've written a note like, are they trying to diminish their responsibility by trying to, by forcibly failing to comprehend what's going on?
Yeah, pretty
Like if
much.
they can trick themselves into thinking that I don't know what's happening,
Yeah,
then
it
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 kind of gets
does
them off the hook.
it does feel like that.
Yeah,
And I think partly they kind of want it to happen because they want to get laid, and partly they don't want to happen because it's kidnap and rape.
yeah.
But then so they just go, I don't know what's going on, whatever. I'll just follow the lead.
There are several shots of them. It cuts to several shots of them going through the countryside with the girl tied, gagged, and forced to carry all their shit
Yeah.
barefoot. By the way, Michael J. Fox, who plays the character called Erickson, he continually questions what's going on.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah,
He just doesn't want it to
but
happen.
he's asking his commanding officer. He's asking Sean Penn, what are we doing exactly here?
Really?
If
Are
you
you sure this is a good idea? Like,
Can you
really?
explain it? Because maybe he's thinking like, if you say it out loud in words, you'll realize this is fucked, and we'll
Yeah.
stop doing this. But Sean Penn, he just dismisses him with like shit duties,
Yeah.
like go on point or go do something else, go fuck off and do something else.
Basically, a little punishment for having an opinion.
Yeah, and basically he doesn't want to say it out loud.
No, it happens throughout the whole movie. Even at the end, when they kill her, and she walks right past him, he's just like, what the, shoot her! He's holding a fucking gun. It's a shoot her. She's getting away. He doesn't want to do any of it. He wants everyone.
That's a good point. He, apart from the rape, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't want to do anything himself. He's
Yeah,
always like, when they decide to kill her, he orders literally everyone else
and
to do
also,
it, except for Clark, who wants to do it.
yeah, he orders everyone in the least I want to do it order, from the least person who wants to least do it to the person who most wants to do it. He just wants to he wants to make everyone who might like dissent against him be the most culpable.
Yeah,
And at the same time, he's also like a coward himself. He doesn't actually want to murder her himself, but he wants her to be murdered.
yeah.
Like, yeah, he's a prick.
Yeah, when it gets to that bit where they decide to kill her, He does. It's because he's freaking out because he's going to get caught because of the helicopters are coming and they might see her.
Yeah,
So, but we'll get, there's a whole thing about that later.
yeah.
They do try sometimes to rationalize what they're doing, mostly by dehumanizing her. She does have a name. The character does have a name, but you only find it out in the trial at the end.
I didn't even catch that. What was the name?
Her name is, I'm going to butcher the fuck out of this. Trantiwan,
Okay, Tranchiwan.
something like that. Yeah. But you only find that out right at the end because
Mm.
for the rest of the film they just call her like her, the girl.
The whore.
I actually wrote a list actually. Her, the girl, the dink, the bitch, the whore, the prisoner, and VC sympathizer.
Mm.
That's all that they call it throughout the film. So they constantly try to dehumanize her and justify the way they treat her. Two of the coldest fucking lines in this are from Clark.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure who's more of a psycho, Sean Penn or Clark.
Yeah,
I think probably Clark. Like Clark isn't like Sean. They're basically the same, but Clark actually wants to kill things, and he actually wants to rape it. He wants to do it all, whereas Sean Penn wants everyone else to do it because he's a bit of a coward.
yeah.
So I don't know I don't know who's worse then, the one that wants to do it or the one that wants to make other people do it.
The two coldest lines I thought that I wrote down. There's one from Clark and one from Sean Penn. Clark's line about her is we're gonna win her heart and mind, Erickson, if she's got one.
Yeah,
Fuck. And then the other line that I got was Sean Penn's, and it's whilst they're having that argument when Michael J. Fox stands up to him and he says he's not going to take part in the rape.
yeah.
Sean Penn, it's just the level of like
Sadisticness.
it's the leisure it's the casual wording of something that's terrible. He says he turns to the rest of the men and he just goes, Erickson, he doesn't want to ball the dink. Fucking hell.
And the way he takes they say it in what's the other one we watched? Full Metal
Full
Jacket.
Metal Jacket.
This is my gun. This is my weapon. This is my gun. This is for play. This is for fighting. This is for fun. And he reverses it.
Yeah, no, in Full Metal Jackets, this is my rifle, this is my gun. I did write it down.
Yeah, this is for
Your
fighting.
gun
This
being
is
your dick. This is
this
for
is
fighting.
fighting. This is fun. And he reverses it so that the gun is for fun, which means he enjoys killing people.
He grabs his dick and he goes, "This is a weapon."
Yeah,
And then he holds it. This is a gun.
yeah. This is for
The gun's
fighting.
for fighting.
No,
Yeah.
the dick is for fighting. The weapon's
The
for
gun
fun.
is for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fucked up. And he goes through Sean Penn as well. When it gets to the rape scene, Sean Penn goes through every like a sort of manipulative angle of attack in his arguments. He starts with saying, "Just do what I say. Like I'm in charge. You don't get to question me." This is his first one. Tries to use authority. So Michael J. Fox doesn't take that. Then he goes, "Okay, you must be fucking fat. Like, are you gay?" Tries to ridicule him, make him feel like a loser, so he'll do it to not feel like as much of a loser. Then he goes, "If you don't do it, then I'll fucking rape you as well." So he threatens him. He goes through every possible way that he can try and.
You skipped a good one as well, which
Oh yeah, the kid, yeah, she's a VC. He's not a VC. He's not a VC.
oh
You?
yeah, there's that.
I don't know. Like maybe you'll just wake up and get killed. Like maybe you're a VC. He also threatens his life if he doesn't.
Yeah, we've all got guns.
Anyone can die at any time.
We didn't mean to shoot you. We're sorry. There's one bit in it where Michael J. Fox he gets a bollocking for asking too many questions, and he sits a bit away from the hooch, and then Sean Penn comes up to him all friendly like and just goes, "Look, I'm sorry that I came down hard on you earlier." So he also tries that approach.
Tries the friendship approach, the teamwork approach. We've got to watch each other's back approach. Who can we trust out here but ourselves?
It only lasts like a second before he loses his patience with Fox again and just goes, "Well, for fuck's sake, like she's a sympathizer and all that bollocks." Let's talk about the Johnny Legs in the room.
Feel a bit sorry for him, but at the same time, I don't.
The I've written down the traitor Johnny Legs.
Yeah, the traitor and coward. Like he asks Michael J. Fox, like, do we have to do this if we told? Do we have to? He obviously doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And like when Michael J. Fox has been like being like berated by Sean Penn in every way possible, he keeps looking at Johnny Legs for some support. Nothing.
Johnny Legs, he's played a lot of characters in a lot of films, and I've been trying to think about like, has he done something in a film as fucking heinous as he does in this? Because his turncoat is heartbreaking.
Yeah. I don't think he has. I think this is the worst character he's played, I think, by far.
I mean, like if he had backed Michael J. Fox up, I don't think that would together. I don't think that they would have been able to change the girl's fate. But like she would have been raped one less time, I suppose. But still,
Even that maybe it would have changed John C. Riley's opinion. There would have been three.
his kind of like justification of it later in the trial, where he's just like, well, it's going to be like a group of men and an individual. Wait, wouldn't it have been one guy if you joined the guy, you fucking cunt?
Yeah. And you were quite so you were yes, you're saying you didn't want to be the individual, but you're quite happy to make the other guy the individual. You knew how fucked up being an individual would be, and yet you did that to him.
Like, because I was thinking of, Saving Private Ryan, there's that coward character, the one who's on the stairs.
Uh,
He There's like a German sniper in a clock tower or something, and he goes in, but like all the building starts to blow up, and he just
oh yeah,
sits on the stairs and he's afraid. And then the German officer comes down, sees him cowering in the corner, and just walks by him. And I see a picture of him on Twitter every now and then, just go, "This is the worst character in a war film," and I'm like,
nope.
"I raise you with Johnny Legs."
Yeah, yep.
Because it's doing bad things top trumps, I suppose. Like they're all cunts, but yeah, no, Johnny Legs could have done something.
But also, John Legs did do all the bad things that the other ones did, and he also fucking yeah,
It's a good point. Yes, he could have stopped it, but he chose not to.
and and unlike the other two, he didn't even want to, so he even betrayed himself.
Because Michael J. Fox, in the great speech later, where he says that he failed to stop them, Johnny
Yeah,
Legs, he could have had that, but he took part in it as well.
I failed to stop. I failed to stop myself.
Yeah, absolutely fucked. I've just written the note. The scene ellipses. We all know what happens here. So let's just barrel on.
Like when it even comes to the raping part, like you don't obviously see the rape tech, obviously, but you hear some comments like John C. Riley goes like, "Hey, Clark had his knife out to her throat the entire time. So what? What do you mean?" Like, well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Clark's like, yeah, and what are you saying? And then they're so fucking callous about it because they make fun of John C. Riley for like thrusting 3 times before busting.
yeah.
It's like,
And then it's
dude,
like,
fucking hell.
and immediately after raping her and making those fucked up comments, John C. Reilly, I really don't like John C. Reilly's character either. John C. Reilly character is
Is it
like,
where he asks for a beer or something?
well, there's that. That I came across as because he was nervous about this whole thing, and he was, I want a beer. It's the bit afterwards.
Yeah.
It's all happened, and they're just having a conversation. He goes, "I used to have this car, this cherry red Spitfire. What the fuck are you talking about? You just raped the chick."
Yeah, yeah, it's apropos of nothing. He starts talking about a fucking
Yeah,
car. Well, you just trying not to
so
think about it. Like it's because he's coming down from the high of what he's just done, and then like there's like a little thing on his shoulder, just going. You realize what you've just done? I will talk about a car instead of think about that dark thing.
exactly. It's just he's oh twat.
Yeah, cunt. The thing we mentioned this like in the in the Full Metal Jacket one, like the when they kill the girl at the end, when they kill the girl at the end of Full Metal Jacket, and then a second later they're just walking through singing Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh, for us it's harrowing because we're watching the film, but for them in the film it's just like a Tuesday for them.
yeah,
The scene after the rape, is they go back on patrol and they're just like, yeah, back at work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's sort of like nothing's fucking happened. No one mentions it anymore.
John C. Riley, you're gonna hate him even more when they get to the river and they look over the edge, and then there's like a riverboat, and they're getting like weapons or whatever supplies out of a boat on the far side. This is the VC, by the way. John Riley looks over the edge and he just goes, oh, "It's a bunch of those cruel-hearted little people."
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's what he says.
Yeah, I remember fucking out.
Really,
You're like,
dude?
after what you just fucking did?
After what you
Yeah.
just fucking did. It's a bunch of
How?
those cruel-hearted little people.
But again,
Fucking
that's that.
hell.
But again, that's just him justifying to himself that he was in the right for doing what he did because they're just cruel-hearted little people. So it's a good thing that I raped her. They need to be punished. It's him trying to justify to himself, I'm still a good person. The reason I did such a bad thing is because they're so evil. They deserve it.
Um,
Fucking what a cunt.
Sean Penn sends John C. Riley and Michael J. Fox back to the hooch to get equipment and shit. Um, and Clark is back at the hut. He's keeping watch on the girl. But Clark goes, well, I want to go up to get some action because I want to go shoot some people. So Erickson, you look after the girl.
Fox.
Yeah, Fox. Sorry, yeah. Stop saying the characters' proper names, except for Clark. Uh, Clark keeps saying, because Michael J. Fox says that wasn't the order, man. Like we're told to go back up, not you. He goes, I'm a corporal.
Yeah.
You do what I say. And he goes up. It's like 2 times that he does this in the film because he makes John C. Riley carry his bag earlier on in the film, where he pulls rank. Very small dick energy.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox, he's talking with the girl. They've beaten the shit out of her at some point, and
Yep. Probably during the rape.
they talk they talk, but everything is subtitled. So they talk, but nothing is subtitled.
Mm.
Is what I mean. So you don't know what she's saying, and he doesn't because he doesn't know what she's saying either. So there's no point in us know what she's saying.
Well, I think that's a good tool they use
Yeah,
in movies anyway. I don't like it when things that the characters that you're supposed to be identifying with don't understand what you're saying, but the audience does. That kind
yeah,
of it doesn't work. It's better if I I've always liked the idea of as he learns certain words that word only would be subtitled or
yeah. I like
and
that as well.
gobbly house.
Sean Penn bollocks Clark the minute he gets up here, and he's just like, you fucking leaving the girl with Michael J. Fox. What's wrong with you? That's me paraphrasing. Not like it's not like a rumor going around that you shouldn't leave girls with Michael J. Fox. They they Erickson and the girl. He he thinks of fleeing, then realizes that he'll get shot as a deserter, and then he goes fuck it anyway, and they start fleeing again. But they get like 5 feet before Clark turns up, and they go to the. He says, "What are you doing?" And they go to the default answer that they do for most things in this film. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing, man. Yeah, it's just fucking. Yeah, what we doing? All right, okay, cool. And then they go up to the river and they bring the girl. Um,
It's quite a good picture of the entire Vietnam War. What do you guys do? Nah, don't know really.
so as we said earlier, they're at the edge, and then helicopters are coming down. There's also an American gunboat in the water as well, in the river.
Yeah.
Um,
Did
and
they call for backup or something?
yes, they did. Johnny Legs did.
Yeah, that's their backup going maybe.
Yeah. So whilst they went back to the hooch to get supplies, Johnny Legs called on radio for backup, and then Sean Penn suddenly realizes, oh shit, they'll see the girl, and then he freaks out and like a kid who's like being caught stealing something or having broken a vase or some shit like that. He's just standing. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We gotta kill her.
Yeah, we got to kill her. Not me. I'm not
We
going to do
gotta kill
it.
her.
But
Tells Fox to do it, then tells Diaz to do it. Probably not in this order, actually. Tells Diaz and then
Riley.
fucking John C. Riley to do it. And then But Clark's there just going, I'll do it. Like he's got his hand, he's holding on to it. He's practically got the knife in his hand already, just going, I'll do it.
And then they get fired on, so they can't.
Michael J. Fox fires his weapon to reveal their position. On
Which is
purpose.
probably the most heroic moment of the entire movie.
Yeah. And so they get into a firefight, and then it does that split screen thing again.
Yeah.
Where he's in the foreground, and behind Clark just takes her to a bush and stabs her a couple of times. And then they go and do firefights, and she survives, and she walks down the bridge like bleeding to death, and she walks past Sean Penn, who's just like, what the fuck's this happening?
She's
And
getting
then,
away.
and again orders everyone but himself to shoot her. And like you said, you got a real big fucking gun. You could have done it yourself.
She's right in front of you.
Yeah.
You're not going to miss.
Michael J. Fox tries to stop him, but he gets knocked. He falls on the railway
Oh,
bridge.
Sean Penn. Sean Penn knocks him out.
Sean Penn also he only shoots his gun at the girl once everyone else has done it.
Yeah.
So Johnny Legs and John C. Reilly shoot her. She spins round, then he shoots her, and then she falls off the bridge. So that's the end of the awful bit, or is it?
The most awful bit, yeah.
So he goes back. He wakes up in a military hospital back at
he,
base.
he fortunately got chopped out separately from them.
Yeah. He immediately reports it. He tells his friend, fucking Clark, there's that long shot where they're going up. He runs out of the hospital and there's loads of men walking towards the camera. And he runs into the group and he's talking with his friend. And in the background, you can see fucking Clark just move slowly forward. Like, what's he fucking saying? What's he fucking saying?
Yeah, and then and then Clark obviously kind of makes it very obvious to his friend as well by going, what happens in the field stays in the field, you idiot. What are you talking about? So that this friend actually believes him that it definitely did happen. And his friend just turns to Fox and goes, it's your team, Marty. Something's got to be done about your team.
And you managed it. So his friend, his friend,
I've been waiting for that for ages.
His friend says, like, if you got to report it, but you got to go through the chain of command. So you have to tell Ving Rhames first. He tells Ving Rhames. Ving Rhames, as we mentioned, monologues, son.
Straight, it's a great shot as well. Starts off right in his face and slowly pans out as he's giving his epic monologue.
He gets moved into like a different battalion or something like that.
Yeah, he said they're going to split up the entire team into different battalions, and that'll solve them. And therefore, all of the problems have been solved.
Michael J. Fox has his cherry scene where he's walking through whilst being bothered by the new guy, who immediately biffs it in the most. He's just, where do I find my? Well, I've lost my squad. Do you know where my squad is?
And to be fair, if you just listen to Fox, because doesn't Fox just say, "Look, if you keep running around like a chicken with a head cut off, then you're going to fucking die really quickly.
Yeah.
You need to take this seriously and slow the fuck down."
Yeah.
Like, not even that harsh. He was just like, you need to slow down, pay attention, or you're going to die. And then, like 2 seconds later, he dies.
He dies in the most fucking gruesome way ever. He gets blown off. He gets his legs blown off, and then lands in like a pit of spikes and shit.
Yeah, fucking hell.
The fuck. Anyway,
probably should have slowed down and paid more attention. If only someone had told him that.
Yeah, they do. Like Michael J. Fox's friend just says, "Oh, what a dumb fucking cunt." And it's just like, hey man, we walk. He gives his speech about like maybe things should matter more. People keep walking around thinking things don't matter because we can die at any minute, but maybe it matters more because we could die at any minute.
Yeah, which I thought was a really good line. Maybe we shouldn't all act like cunts. Maybe things do have consequence. Maybe we should act like actual people.
Because their whole conversation is maybe should he go to Captain Hill, who's above Ving Rhames,
who Fox has a massive amount of respect for because And he just instantly goes like Captain Hill would never stand for this shit. He's a righteous guy. If I report to him, this will all be resolved. Is his mentality at that point?
And is it fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He just kind of Michael J. Fox is the only when he says, "Sir, if you had heard her screaming,"
You get to talk to me about screams. I've heard more screams than you.
he says, "I wrote this down. You don't tell me shit about screaming, boy. I've heard a lot of fucking screaming in this country. Most of it comes from wounded American boys." Ah, fucking yeah.
That's a well, it's good justification.
That's not her fault. And if anything, as a commanding officer, kind of yours.
Yeah,
You fuck.
and it's also yeah. I'm sorry, but like, I'm sorry. What? So these people died, therefore people getting raped and murdered is fair somehow. What these things are unrelated completely.
Yes, no, that is that does happen, doesn't it? It's just like we'll change this. It's people do it on Twitter a lot. It's like suffering top trumps. Your terrible thing doesn't matter because there's another more terrible thing. That doesn't stop the terrible thing being terrible. You fuck. Anyway, so Michael J. Fox, he's put in a different unit, but everyone's at the same base, so it doesn't really matter anyway.
Yeah, right.
So he's in the toilet. Before we get to that, actually, it's a good shot of Michael J. Fox. He's going,
Brilliant shot with the being
yeah,
stalked.
being stalked because you just think it's just like a normal shot, and then the camera starts moving, then it starts ducking under shit.
That was a great
So
shot.
that's Clark. That's Clark stalking him, and then John C. Riley sees him while he's about to go into the toilet, and just go, "Oh, hey, Clarky," and then everyone just runs away, and Michael J. Fox just stands there for a good minute and a half, fucking around with the
Which I would not
lighter.
have done. I would have been like, wait a minute, something's up here.
So Clarky throws a grenade into the toilet from outside, and Michael J. Fox just happens to see it from where he drops his
At the
lighter.
last second. That grenade takes a hell of a long time to explode as
Yeah,
well.
and so the latrine block blows up. Michael J. Fox, he goes into the tent with a shovel, bashes the shit out of Clark's face.
Oh, before this, I like this scene with where he's got the weapon because it mirrors this earlier scene with Sean Penn where he pulls the weapon out on him.
Yeah,
When Fox pulls a weapon out on Sean Penn to try and stop him.
yeah.
And Sean Penn does the proper I have all the power thing here. He throws his weapon at Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox catches
Oh
it,
fuck!
and he goes, "What? You got a weapon? He's got a weapon. This guy's got a weapon. Everyone's got fucking weapons." It's like I'm not afraid of you. I'm in control. I have all the power. He does the exact same thing back to Sean Penn in this scene.
Yeah,
It's brilliant.
I hadn't clocked that. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That explains why Sean Penn's just standing there, like kind of in awe and a little bit of respect for him, where he's just looking at the
Yeah,
fucking shovel, like, "Huh." Sean Penn's just thinking, "Call back."
yeah, right.
Yeah. I just twats the fuck out of Clark with the shovel.
Yeah, Clark like at this point he's just been nearly murdered, so he's kind of he's at the end of his he's lost his patience. So Clark stands up to try and bully him again and say something. He's like, you know what? Anyway, so I was talking to the person in charge. Brilliant.
And it's kind of sad that he's just like, I told everyone, no one gives
Yeah,
a shit. So you don't have to kill me. So it's fine. Let's just carry on,
yeah.
motherfucker.
And I wonder if that Clark throwing the grenade in there was actually ordered by Sean Penn or it was just Clark acting on his own or what? Probably ordered.
That is a good question. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It would be something that Clark would just do off script anyway. Plus, everyone's like everyone's super casual about the fact that a bomb just went off in the middle of an army base
Yeah,
because all that someone says off screen is "put that
yeah.
fire out." That's all. No one
Because
gives a shit.
if you think about it, like also right when John C. Riley goes to the toilets and goes, "Hey, Clarky, how's it going?" So he obviously didn't know about the plan. So it wouldn't have been
Yeah, yeah,
unless
right,
he's
yeah.
not that stupid. But like maybe it wasn't ordered in front of the entire team, but maybe it was just Sean Penn telling just Clark, or maybe Clark just acted on his own.
Michael J. Fox, he goes to the bar, gets drunk, and then he gets approached by the chaplain. It's my favorite, one of my favorite fucking scenes. This and his little speech that he gives. And he's talking to a chaplain, and he says, "Are you religious?" And he just goes, "Well, I'm a Lutheran." And he just, "Well, we can still talk, can't we?" And he's, "All right, okay, yeah, I suppose." Um,
Yeah, and like the chaplain obviously doesn't know what's happened because he's like, is there trouble at home, sickness in the
yeah,
family, or what problems with the wife? It's like,
yeah.
I went on a long range patrol.
Yeah, fucking love this speech, and it ends with "and I failed." So he says "sir" a lot in this speech, and I failed, sir, to stop them. And it immediately goes to the investigation where they find her on the rocks.
And I like this scene as well, where the Captain Hill is going, just couldn't leave it alone,
Yeah,
could
right.
you? Go to hell.
Where they find her
Yeah,
on the rocks, she is not hidden. She doesn't land in a bush. She lands
no,
on the rocks. Now, Michael J. Fox, he got knocked out on the bridge above.
yeah.
They picked him up and helicoptered him out. Also, there was an American gunboat.
Oh, I forgot to mention that in that scene, they had called for a backup, but they hadn't called for a boat. They called for an airstrike,
The boat,
and the boat that went past gets exploded by the airstrike.
and so there's bodies in the water that wash up next to the rock.
Yeah,
So they got Michael J. Fox and those two dudes out of the water right next to the girl, and it left the girl.
yeah, just ignored it.
Yeah. So when they come back and do the investigation, they take proper photos and shit. And then it just goes to the trial. It cuts to the trial. Their little stories justifying their actions. Fucking hell. Johnny Legs can go fuck himself at this point. Not in real life, Johnny. Love you. Sean Penn tells this story of like,
Sean Penn's he's quite clever in the way he words his. I wonder if this is the actual defenses they used in the actual investigation.
I don't know. I should read I know the art. This whole film is based on a real thing that happened, but an article in the New Yorker. You can find it online. But yeah, his like just he goes on this weird tangent of telling a story about saving a little child with smoke inhalation. And he's just like, see, it's not all just combat over here. Love the way he speaks.
Yeah. What's the first thing he says? Like his first lead up.
I can't remember.
He doesn't. They're like, did you go into the hooch and like purposely rape him? And his first line, it's like a very clever way of trying to kind of undermine the argument and make himself not responsible. But I can't remember what he says.
Let's see
It's
if I
like,
can
oh, it's as soon as when he heads that, I went, you manipulative little fuck.
see if I can just
He's
bring
like
it.
it's like a politician's answer to something. But you see, like, luckily the investigation like cut him off and said, but like his first line there, what was it again? The prisoner tried to give away the location, give away our position. Like you can
Yeah,
see where he's about to go with this, right?
yeah,
He's fully
fucking
going to justify it. I was trying to save my team from being their position given away. I'm a hero again because we had to kill her because
yeah,
otherwise our entire fuck off. You fucking kidnapped her, raped her, and then because she was coughing because you made her sick,
yeah,
you killed her.
fucking yeah, cunts. Um, so the girl in the trial, the girl gets named as Tran Juan. This is the outcome of what they get. Diaz, he gets 8 years for the rape. Clark gets life for rape and murder. Um, oh yeah, I was sorry, I was using the wrong people's names. Johnny Legs gets 8 years for rape. Please don't take that out of context. Clark gets life for rape and murder. John C. Riley 15 years just for the rape, and Penn gets 10 years just for the murder.
No, yeah, I was curious about why didn't he get anything for the rape?
Don't know. I don't know why they've separated it up like that, but yeah. Um,
And nobody like the other two also shot her, so they should have got surely something for murder.
yeah, right. But yeah, Clark gets hit the worst. Well, We'll expand on that in a
Fair
second.
enough.
And then it just cuts to the train scene, and it is like the happy ending where you don't have to relive this. Your nightmare's over now. And then
There's one other thing. As Sean Penn is as the all four of them are leaving the trial,
mm,
Sean Penn pauses next to Michael J. Fox
yeah,
and leans over and whispers something that you don't
yeah,
find out what it is. I'm assuming it's a threat, like in 10 years' time, I'm going to come and kill you.
yeah, yeah.
But that's never addressed.
That's never addressed because the nightmare's over there. Yeah, the whisper in the ear, and you don't know what it says. It rings of what was that? The Lost in Translation, the whisper in Lost in Translation. That's like, it can mean whatever you want it to mean, but that's a good one, and this one's a bad one.
Yeah.
They do the train scene, and they have the slightly happy ending where he gets some resolution, and he meets someone who vaguely looks like the girl from his past, who tells him, "Oh, it's everything's all right now. You can move on with your life." Do you want to know a little bit about the incident on Hill 192? Because I wrote a couple of notes, mostly about what happened to the guys afterwards.
That's one of the things I want to know. The other one I know is how accurate, how true to the actual events was the movie.
As far as films about this about real life things, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Pretty close. There's not many liberties taken. Um, so
I think it's I think it's absolutely I think it's amazing that America I think it's really a good thing that the America actually allowed the movie to be made showing this kind of thing happens.
well, shortly most Vietnam War films are negative, right?
But I mean this puts a bad light on the entire military industry, right? The corruption, hiding, trying to hide shit like that, being bullied into silence.
I'm not sure that I don't want to be one of those people who says, "Oh, you can make that nowadays." But in the current climate, there'd be probably more pushback against it,
Hmm.
because people are a little bit more clutching, pearl clutching at like things that are like uh, anti American or anti the
Military.
army,
Yeah.
anti military. Yeah. So there'll be more backlash. I still think they'd be able to make the film, but there'd be a bit more hoo-ha about it.
People might also just be less inclined to make the movie as well because they don't want to be like attacked.
Yeah, mind you, every fucking film gets attacked. There's a controversy about every fucking thing recently. So who gives a shit?
And even Harry Potter.
But that's not so much about Harry Potter, but about the person who makes it.
No, about the fact that magic is evil against God.
Oh, magic is evil. That thing. Oh yeah, I remember that. Anyway, so the case, it came to public attention, due to an article in the New Yorker by Daniel Lang, in 1969, which is a couple of years after it happened. The article used a lot of fake names, and the fake names from the article are the character names in the film.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's mostly based on the book, and the book is the Daniel Lang. He talked to the real guy who was Michael J. Fox, who was a guy called Robert Storby. Um, Everyone's in their like early 20s, by the way. So Sean Penn's character Meserve was based on a guy called David Edward Gervais, who can fuck off, by the way. Robert Storby, the good one. Stephen Cabot Thomas is the real life Clark, also can fuck off. And then there's Johnny Legs and John C. Riley. In real life, they were cousins. Um, Cipriano Garcia and Joseph Garcia. They're both cousins in real life, and they
Huh.
can both fuck off. Um, and the real life victim was Fan T Mao. Um, everyone, including the victims, in their early 20s. What happened to them all?
Yeah, what did happen to them?
Did they go to prison forever, and did terrible things happen to them? No.
What?
This is the part of the podcast where you get mad. Gervais, who is the real life Sean Penn, was sentenced to 10 years. It was reduced to 8, and then he was released after only 2.
What?
Fucking right. He died at the age of 34, and his
Oh,
if you search for passed away military personnel, because he was in the military, they were all dishonorably discharged. Um, but there's records of him kept on like military grave websites. People can leave comments underneath, normally like condolences or like remembrances. All the ones under his are, "You're in the military, I'll give you that, but you're a cunt."
good. Okay, that's a little. What did he die of?
I think he died in a car crash. I think
Oh, good.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
I thought maybe he killed himself or from guilt or something, but never mind.
No. Stephen Calbert Thomas, who is the real life Clark. He got life because he was the one that stabbed her. He got life. It was immediately commuted to 20 years, then 8. He was eligible for parole after only 4 years, but he was released anyway after only 3.
Fuck my old boots.
Incidentally, he's been arrested a bunch of times because he is a white supremacist. And he has his own organization. He's one of the leaders of an organization called the World Church of the Creator. They're a bunch of white supremacist assholes. So Joseph Garcia. Joseph Garcia. He is the John C. Riley one. Got 15 years. Got sentenced for 15 years, but his conviction was reversed because it was found to be his confession was ruled to be a violation of his Fifth Amendment rights. So he got nothing.
So he's not even found. He doesn't even have a record then.
Yeah, but they were all dishonorably discharged.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a.
That's like the worst thing that happened. That's the worst thing that happened to him was the dishonorable discharge. And a film was made about him. uh, Cipriano Garcia, who is the Johnny Legs equivalent, he got sentenced to 4 years, but he only served 22 months.
Wow.
So
That's fucking bullshit.
welcome to. Thanks for listening to the podcast, and I hope you all feel slightly more awful now.
What happened to the Fox?
Fox, I believe, is still alive and well.
Yeah, good. Okay, living a good life, healthy.
Let me just copy his name into Google. Oh, I think he's passed away.
From like old age or
Oh yeah. He's old age 2002 possibly. Yeah.
that's a shame. That's
So
fucking
yeah.
bullshit.
So Cole, what rating would you give it? What did I write the ratings for? On IMDb, this is 7.1, and Rotten Tomatoes is 84%.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can't figure out much. I don't think is there's nothing in this movie that's irrelevant or unneeded apart from maybe the bus tram scene.
Yeah.
But even that is actually part of the true story. Bit of a cheesy thing with the dream line at the end, but I easily give it a 9. Easily give it a 9. Possibly a little bit more, but 9. I reckon 9 out of 10.
I will go. I'll go 9 as well. It's the ending that I need. It's the tram stuff
Yeah,
that knocks it down a little bit, and Ving Rhames should have been in it more.
yeah.
But
If
you know,
I mean, I want to give it more. I'm just really pissed off at the moment that those guys only served that 3 years. What the fuck? That's not the movie's fault.
right, Cole. If people were so inclined to have a look, are you going to put pictures of your new soup making skills on your Instagram?
Probably, yeah. Unless I think, I mean, even whether it's good or bad, I'll post them because I don't I don't only put on the good stuff I've done. If I fuck something up that I'm trying, I tend to put those up as well.
Are you going to put well-lit vanity shots of your new mixer on there?
Fuck yeah.
All right.
And my
And where
stuff,
will people be able to see your new mixer?
Colin.gerard.92 on Instagram.
So go onto Instagram and follow Colin for some hot mixer soup action. Uh,
Might set up an entirely separate Instagram just for the mixer. It is that sexy.
You can find me at the Badgers Apprentice on YouTube or on TikTok at Badgers Apprentice without the for some reason. Next week or next time I release a podcast, we'll be doing the greatest beer run ever with Zac Efron and Russell Crowe's in that film as well. Anyway, see you all next time. Bye.
See yous.